Now we are going to demonstrate to you the way in which the EVM is going to be there on the poll day. So you need to know the essential things that are there for the EVM. EVM normally used to be only the control unit from where as the voter comes in, he is told to show identify himself, then the mark is put on his forefinger, subsequently goes to third polling officer gets the slip, voter slip, and then he presses the ballot button. Subsequently, the voter goes to the secret compartment. Inside the secret compartment, we used to have the balloting unit. The balloting unit has the name, serial number, name and symbol of the candidate. Against it there is a blue button. The voter on his choice will press the blue button. Once the blue button is pressed, the red light glows and then a beep sound comes indicating that the vote has been registered, and the registered vote is incorporated in the control unit. That's how we used to have the election. Now a new gadget has been introduced into the voting machine, and it's called the VVPAT. It is a voter verifiable paper audit trail. Now when a vote is cast, earlier the machine used to record it, and the voter does not know where he has cast, whether it's gone to the same candidate. That is why they needed a new instrument, which is actually a printer. It is called a VVPAT. As the voter presses the button against the choice of his candidate, then immediately the light glows there, and subsequently the VVPAT generates the slip. The slip is shown in this illuminated window. It remains there for 7 seconds, and the slip, the name, serial number, the name of the candidate, symbol is there, and the voter can see it for himself that it has been cast to the same vote, has been cast to the same candidate of his choice, and it remains there for 7 seconds, and 7 seconds is enough for him to ascertain that it has happened. And the slip then falls into a collecting box here, drop box it's called, and it's collected there, and it is counted at the counting table. So electronically it is pressed here, the print is generated here. Once the print is generated, subsequently once it has been registered here, the print has come out, it is then registered onto the machine. So a beep sound subsequently comes here. So once the voter presses here, what happens first is the light glows here, immediately the voter can see here, it will be there for 7 seconds, and subsequently it is registered in the control unit 2. Here also we get a beep. This is the three parts, and normally how do we connect them? The control unit, the VVPAT and the ballot unit, how it is connected? The balloting unit has a cord. This cord is connected to the VVPAT. VVPAT also has a cord. This cord is subsequently connected to the control unit. So the connection is like this: the balloting unit connected to the VVPAT, VVPAT's cord connected to the control unit. So when we press the blue button, the red light across that will glow. The slip is generated. It will remain for 7 seconds. Then it will fall. Beep sound is heard. Okay, this is the normal way in which the vote is registered by the voter. Now, in the election, 2-3 things you have to keep in note. This balloting unit is already sealed by the returning officer and given to you. We have nothing to do in the balloting unit. So balloting unit, you have got the address tag already sealed by the returning officer. We have nothing to do in the balloting unit. The VVPAT, after we conduct the mock poll, there's the drop box has to be sealed. You have to completely remove all the slips of the mock poll, the test slip and the 50 mock poll slips, remove it and seal it and keep it separately. Subsequently, check the drop box is empty. Once it is empty, then seal it. There are 2 points where you have to seal, 2 address tags have to be kept here. Then this is ready. So this nothing has to be done here, and the only thing that has to be done here is after the mock poll, remove all the slips, then put 2 address tags, seal it, and get signature of all the candidates' agents who are present there. So this is over. So this is the way in which you have to be ready for after the mock poll. Now we are going to talk about how to seal the control unit. Before that, we will just make a small detailed description of the control unit. The control unit is going to be placed at the PO3 table, and once the voter comes after getting the indelible ink on his forefinger, signing the 17 register, he moves to the third polling officer along with a slip given to him from the PO2. The PO3 collects the slip, ascertains the mark, indelible ink mark on the forefinger, then he requests the voter to proceed to the voting chamber. Now let us just see what all is there in the control unit. The control unit basically has 4 parts. This is called the display section, this is the candidate set section, this is the result section, and this is the ballot section. So these are the 4 units of the control unit. You have a display section, you have a candidate set section, then you got a result section, and then lower end you got the ballot section. Now during the poll, the machine is handed over to the presiding officer with the candidate section completely sealed by the returning officer. It is sealed and the address tag is there and the signature of the candidate's agents is taken when it is prepared in the returning officer's office. So this will be coming in a sealed way. We have nothing to do with the candidate set section. Now this is the area which we have to prepare. This we will be preparing after we conduct the mock poll, clear all the data from the after the mock poll, check the total once again, ascertain it is 0, then we can make it ready for preparing for the sealing. Now let us talk about the sealing. Whenever you are doing the sealing, it is ideal for us to put the switch off, because unknowingly we should not press any switch on the front, because there are a lot of switches in the front which can accidentally be pressed. To avoid that, you put the switch off and then start preparing the control unit. Now we will talk about the result section. This is the area that has to be prepared by the presiding officer and the polling staff officials. This result section has got an outdoor door. There is a cap which covers the close button. This is how it is visible. An outer door with a flap which covers the close button, which can be removed at the end of the poll. You can see the close button there. Now this outer lid can be opened by lifting it. Once you open the outer lid, you will find a few things here. This is the close button. Then you have a blue inner door. From the inner door opening, you can find the result and a print. So the outer door and then an inner door. The inner door can be opened by pressing this, putting your fingers carefully between the holes and just lifting it. Pressing it and just levering it, it comes open. Once you open the inner door, you can find another button called the clear button. So this is the different switches that you find inside the result section. You have a close button, you have a result button, you have a print button and a clear button. Inner door has to be closed first, it has to be sealed. It is generally sealed by using a green paper seal. So we will see what a green paper seal is. We are going to talk about the sealing of the result section. The result section has got 2 lids. One is the outer lid, and then when you open the outer lid, you find a result section lid, an inner lid it's called. So that inner lid also can be opened. That inner lid will have the green paper seal. Inside when you lift the green inner lid, you will find the 4 buttons: the close button, result button, print button and the clear button. The inner lid at the lower end has got a extra flap through which the green paper seal has to be introduced. A green paper seal is called so because on one side it's fully green in color, which has got the Election Commission of India's marking and the Election Commission name printed fully on that side. And then also it also has a characteristic number. So the green paper seal has a characteristic number, and this number has to be written down by the presiding officer. It has to be mentioned in different places by the presiding officer, and also this number should be given to all the candidates' agents, because it is the green paper seal which was used on the poll day in the polling station, and when the machine is taken for counting on the counting day, on the counting table, the counting agents will be given this number by their
candidates agents who are there in the polling station who will ascertain that the same green paper seal was used. In the new green paper seal, in the inner side, which is white in color, has two colored codes. One is a green and a red color. We'll come to know what these are. So this green paper seal, on one side it has got the number and green, which is green color, and the other side it has a red marking and a green marking. This green paper seal is to be passed through the small opening in the inner door from the bottom. It can be pushed up, and one half will protrude in the top and the other at the bottom. The white part will be now visible. The two markings, the green marking and the red marking now is visible. The green marking should cover the result portion and the red marking should cover the print portion. So the green at the top, don't forget the green will be at the top. Green means that is the thing, most important thing, to press the result, it is green in color. And this green paper seal, once it has been placed, the inner lid is pressed down. You can find, once it is pressed down, it has a small opening through which a twine is inserted. It has to be tied, and after tying the twine, we have to fix a special tag. This is the only tag which we are going to use, which carries a characteristic number. That's why we call it a special tag. All other tags are simple address tags which does not have any number to be written down, but here this is a special tag on which that number has to be written down by the presiding officer at different places. This number should also be given to the candidates agents. That special tag has a characteristic number. The presiding officer should sign on it, and all the candidates agents' signature should also be obtained on it. The twine has to be inserted through it, and it has to be tied. It also has a small opening. You know that opening is to make the close button visible from top. So that perforation, the top oval shaped perforation top is for sitting on top of the close button, so the close button is visible from when you close the outer lid. So this has to be tied and sealed. Wax should be applied, the metal seal should be applied. Before you do that, you put your signature, presiding officer should put his signature, and the signature of the candidate's agent should also be obtained, sealed and placed between them. After this is over, keeping it properly, see that you by mistake don't press the close button. Generally, because we have started the procedure after putting the machine off, so pressing the close button may not affect, but then always be careful that close button should be handled very carefully. See that during the entire process you don't press the close button even by mistake. So place the special tag properly there. The close button must be visible after it is placed. After that, push down the outer lid. When you push down the outer lid, the green paper seal, the two parts which are protruding, one at the top and the bottom, should be clearly left outside. After they are left outside, the outer lid has to be gently pushed down, and that outer lid will now close the inner lid as well as the close button. This outer lid also must be sealed. When you press it, as you see in the video, the upper and the lower portion of the green paper seal will be visible. This has to be closed and tied properly and sealed using an address tag. The address tag should also carry the presiding officer signature and signature of all the candidates agents. Wax seal along with metal seal should be applied on it, because the address tag is a proof that this tag was placed at the polling station on the poll day, and this should be intact when it is taken, the machine is taken for counting on the counting table. So these are statutory requirements that you should not forget. So all signatures should be taken. So now the result section has been sealed. Now we are left with the green paper seal. The green paper seal, as we said earlier, the inner part now has two pre-gummed portions, A at the top and B at the bottom. So remove the wax paper covering the pre-gummed area. You can find very clearly the A has to be pressed down onto the outer lid and will stick there. The lower part has the B pre-gummed portion. Remove the wax paper and gently press it on top of the green paper seal, and when you press it down, you will find that the number of the green paper seal is clearly visible, so that at the counting table they can check the green paper seal number.
Now we have the connection ready now. The balloting unit cable is connected to the VVPAT. The VVPAT cable is connected to the control unit. Now what happens when you put on the switch? That's what we are going to show. Once you put on the switch, the green light glows, red light comes and goes off, and it makes a self-checking. VVPAT generates 7 slips by itself. It is self-diagnostic checks slip. Those 7 slips fall into the drop box. You can see it. The CU is doing self-diagnostic checks. It tells you the date of election, time of election. It also tells the serial number of the CU. The CU serial number is on the back also. Please check whether it is the same thing. In this machine, the balloting unit is connected for 16 candidates, so it mentions 16 candidates. It also tells you the battery level in percentage. It is 88% battery. Its charge is 88% now in this. Now it is discovering the unit. So control unit now checks what all is attached to it. It's indicating that it is attached to a BU and tells the BU number. It is testing the BU where it's okay. Its mention is okay. It is now checking the VVPAT. It is confirmed that VVPAT also is okay. Now the EVM is ready. So all this is a self-diagnostic check. It is incorporated in the new machine, the M3 machine. Now it is ready. Mock poll. After we conduct the mock poll, we have to show to the candidates agents that the drop box does not contain any slip at all. It has to be shown that it has no slips at all. Okay, this has to be shown to the people. Then close the outer slit, and 2 address tags have to be placed here. There are 2 openings, and the 2 openings should be having 2 separate address tags. So once you do that, the machine is set. Before commencing of the poll, always show the total first. Always the battery power is shown first, and the total votes must be 0. It will show the date of election, time of election, and also the total votes will be shown, and the total votes shown should be 0. Candidate 16, and the total votes should also be shown, and the total vote should be 0 before you start the actual poll. So it is shown as the total votes polled is 0. Now the polling can start. Comes and goes off, and it makes a self-checking. VVPAT generates 7 slips by itself. It is self-diagnostic checks slip. Those 7 slips fall into the drop box. You can see it. The CU is doing self-diagnostic checks. It tells you the date of election, time of election. It also tells the serial number of the CU. The CU serial number is on the back also. Please check whether it is the same thing. In this machine, the balloting unit is connected for 16 candidates, so it mentions 16 candidates. It also tells you the battery level in percentage. It is 88% battery. Its charge is 88% now in this. Now it is discovering the unit. So control unit now checks what all is attached to it. It's indicating that it is attached to a BU and tells the BU number. It is testing the BU where it's okay. Its mention is okay. It is now checking the VVPAT. It is confirmed that VVPAT also is okay. Now the EVM is ready. So all this is a self-diagnostic check. It is incorporated in the new machine, the M3 machine. Now it is ready. Mock poll. After we conduct the mock poll, we have to show to the candidates agents that the drop box does not contain any slip at all. It has to be shown that it has no slips at all. Okay, this has to be shown to the people. Then close the outer slit, and 2 address tags have to be placed here. There are 2 openings, and the 2 openings should be having 2 separate address tags. So once you do that, the machine is set. Before commencing of the pole, always show the total first. Always the battery power is shown first, and the total volts must be 0. It will show the date of election, time of election, and also the total votes will be shown, and the total votes shown should be 0. Candidate 16, and the total votes should also be shown, and the total vote should be 0 before you start the actual poll. So it is shown as the total votes polled is 0. Now the polling can start. So these are the things that you should be very, very careful. After you conduct the mock poll, remove the 50 slips plus the 7 diagnostic slip, collect them. Behind each of the mock poll slips, put the mock poll seal, collect all the 57, put it into the black cover that is given. It is to be sealed. Subsequently, this 6 the black cover, sealed cover should be put in a plastic box. Inside the plastic box, once it is placed, it should be completely taped with a special tag, and then that also should have the signature of all the candidates, agents, as well as the presiding officers. And you have ascertained and shown that this does not contain any votes now. The drop box is empty. Subsequently, we have pressed the total and shown that it is 0. Then the poll can start. The first voter, exactly at 7 o'clock, the first voter may be permitted to enter, and then he will be identified. He will put his signature 17A. He will then pass on to the third polling officer, give the voter slip. Then the ballot button will be pressed. Once the ballot button is pressed, this will glow as busy, and this ballot machine will show the green light will glow, it will be ready. So the voter can get into the voting compartment, secret compartment. What does he do? He will have to press the choice of candidate. So once the choice candidate button is pressed, the red light will glow. Subsequently, the print will be shown for 7 seconds, it will fall, and then the beep sound will be heard. So we are going to just demonstrate that. So when we press the blue button, the red light across that will glow. The slip is generated. It will remain for 7 seconds. Then it will fall. Beep sound is heard. Beep sound is heard. This indicates that the vote has been registered in the seal.